Alright, this was very unexpected and weird, but we got Dimension Robo support along with encounter cards for clans for decks that we don't have for. But they are very welcome because they are generic for the clans, and they are for non-stride decks, so let's begin. So let's start with a quick promo Financer, Tara Tsubaki, which is a great one with K power and the skill is Act Rearguard cost, put this to soul, choose up to 2 order cards with the same name from each other, put one to the bottom deck and put the other to your hand, then choose one of your units, because with 5k power in the end turn. If you only chose one order, you must put that to the bottom of the deck. It's an order recycler, but it's mainly good with the Codex deck or Sutra, because that one has a lot of duplicate orders, and in a way if you play Red Zorga, because the other Zorgas play different name Alchemagic orders. So this isn't that great for Zorga. But anyway, second skill, Auto Rearguard. When you play an order during the turn, if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard plus 5k. Overall, just not too bad being a 13k beater, while also being a recycler for orders, only if you play duplicates. So it really depends on the deck. And now to the Dimensional Robo support, we start with Dimensional Robo Die Trucker, which is grade 2 with 10k power, and the skill is count rearguard. All your units are dimensional robos in the same column as the unit gets boosts. And yes, that does include itself. At the moment, this is not really much of an issue, but it is there if you need it. And then we go to Super Dimensional Robo Die Wing, which for some reason reminds me of another Brave series robot, but I can't put it on top of my head. But anyway, it's a grade 3 with 13 power, and the skill is auto. When placed on rearguard from hand, if your Vanguard is Dimensional Robo, cost energy draws 3, choose up to 1 card from your soul that is Dimensional Robo with different name from this unit and call it to rearguard, and at the end of the turn put that unit back to soul. So Pale Moon thing, but considering that this is Dimensional Robo for D series, you're going to be putting a bunch in soul, and in a way premium as well. So already it's ready pretty good. But the second skill is count rearguard guardian. If your order zone has a base, power and shield plus 5k, but if you have at least 3 bases plus another 5k and 5k shield, active on your opponent's turn as well. Overall just pretty good for being another plus engine, being a big beater and some extra shield, and considering that it's Dimensional Robo, that is also a grade 3, playing this in premium isn't too bad either. But it is personal preferences here. And now we go to the section where they are encounter cards for clans that don't exactly have a deck yet. Except for this one, Glory Maker, which is still Dimension Police. Of course, since we got Dimension Robo, there's Dimension Police. But anyway, all of them have the same condition where count if your Vanguard has a clan and your G-Zone has no cards, aka if you don't play a stride deck, you get all these following abilities. So it has this skill where auto drop. When you're at least grade 3 Vanguard is placed, if you do not have a same card name as this card on rearguard, you may call this to rearguard in the back row. Basically already pretty good for any Brandgate deck that is encounter, for non-strides anyway. With the second skill of auto rearguard, when this card boosts, if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard, you can give one of these 2 skills to your Vanguard. Your opponent cannot play blitz orders, or when your opponent would guard, they must use at least 2 cards at the same time, and then at the end of the battle, retire this unit. I mean, this is pretty good for the fact that you can superior call itself, but on top of that, give your Vanguard guard restrict. For those encounter decks that don't have strides, this is actually pretty good already, especially Dayusha, which is going to be heavy power on the Vanguard. And now we got Doran the Thruster, which is the Dark Irregular, and of course same condition as Glory Maker, where you can only play it while you play a clan and have no G cards, with the unique skills of auto. When placed on rearguard, soul charge 1, and then choose a card from a drop zone and put it to soul. This is just better than Swirler, just for the fact that not only you get the random soul charge, but also the fact that you can choose a card from your drop zone and put it to soul. So you get random and choice soul charge at the same time. On top of that, you get the second skill, auto rearguard. When a card is put to soul by card ability by any means, and your Vanguard is at least grade 3, this card gets plus 3k power. And yes, this does stacks, and the first skill gets his soul charge and you put a card from the drop, so that's a total of 6k right there. Like I said, this is just better than Swirlers because you get 2 cards over 1. And of course, for those encounter decks, it just has that extra advantage if you're not playing strides. And so far, only Blue Gear can play this. Unless we're talking premium, but yet to play no G cards, which you're probably not going to do. But definitely a useful card for Lukier. And finally, Battle Sister Coca, which is an OTT, also grade 1 with K power, same condition, and the unique skills are auto. When placed on rearguard, cost put a card from your hand to soul, to the top 2 cards of your deck to choose 1 card from one to put to hand, put the other one in the top or into your soul. If you put a card to your soul in this way, this card gets plus 5k power into the end turn. This is just overall pretty good because not only you can basically choice draw, but you can either choice top deck or soul charge. Either way, most of the time it's a win-win. With the second skill, count rearguard guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3 and they drive check a trigger or damage check a trigger, plus 10k power and 10k shield. In a way, for many of the cater encounter decks, you're just setting up the top card to your deck or your soul, depending on what you need. This is just overall pretty good for those decks. And next week we got the new Robo along with the Fire Regalis. Looking forward to it, and hopefully the new Robo will count as the original so we could actually play the evolution from set 11. So that's it for the new Dimensional Robo support along with the encounter cards that don't have decks yet. What do you guys think of it? For Dimensional Robo, it's just cool, and of course one of the encounter cards do have a clan so far, but for the ones that don't, they're just good generic support for those encounter decks. Kinda weird that they decided to do this for clans that don't really have a deck yet, but the two clans that they brought back, I do see them likely coming back soon, considering the fact that they are technically main character clans. So hopefully this is just some foreshadowing for that. But other than that, they are just pretty good. Just a little unfortunate you can't use them for strides. But they did announce that they're going to make a stride version, so at least that there's something. But on that, that's for this, and see you all next time.